Winston, what are you doing? Are you trying to get up in the chair? Well, hi! Okay, for 1 second, anybody who is watching this right now, I need to know if you watch Bose versus the World. She's a YouTuber, she was a streamer, she worked for Smosh. If you watch her, tell me why I've been watching her for years, her YouTube channel, for literally years, and I didn't find out until yesterday that her actual name is my name. I've literally had the biggest crush on this woman for years. She's so pretty. Yesterday I found out we had the same name and I was like, I mean, obviously we're soulmates. Look at Taylor Lautner and Taylor Lautner. So, have you ever wanted to see two movies fight? Or is that just me? The other day I was watching Happy Gilmore and I started thinking about Caddyshack and I wondered to myself, which one is better? So, I've come up with a criteria to grade both movies on to see which one comes out on top. Personally, these two movies are close to my heart because I love Doug Kenny and I love Adam Sandler. They are both very iconic people when it comes to comedy, and they're funny. They are some of the most funny people in American history. I don't know, in my opinion. I am not an expert. I am not a professional, so take what I say with a grain of salt. So I've set up 20 categories to grade both movies based out of 5. I will add up all of their scores in the end and see what they get out of 100. And whoever gets closer to 100 will be the victor. First, if you're not familiar with these movies, let me give you a brief synopsis. Caddyshack, a coming-of-age tale of a boy named Danny working at a country club as a caddy as he figures out what to do out of high school. Happy Gilmore is about a man-child who has a passion for hockey even though the game doesn't accept him. He starts playing golf to get back his grandma's home after this dude from Mad TV discovers his talent with a golf club. Starting off with originality, I'm going to give both of these movies a 5 out of 5. They are good concepts. They aren't copying anything that I'm aware of. I think it's pretty original. They're golf movies. That's the only thing that you could really say that it is not original about it. However, in the creativity department, I gave Caddyshack a 2 out of 5 because it's just a movie about golf. However, I did give Happy Gilmore a 3 out of 5 because the premise is slightly more interesting. Next, we're getting to plot. For plot, I gave Happy Gilmore a 4 out of 5.
Hey, thanks a lot.
Because he's helping his grandma, and there's like a whole thing about him overcoming anger issues, which is like a thing in Adam Sandler movies. It's great. However, Caddyshack, it's just golf.
Is that so? Who made you pope in this dump, huh?
2 out of 5. For pacing structure, I gave Happy Gilmore a 4 out of 5 and Caddyshack a 3 out of 5. Animal House and Caddyshack both have weird pacing, just a little bit, and part of it is because a lot of both of those movies were cut and turned into deleted scenes. There were whole storylines for certain characters that were completely left out just because they needed to fit the time slot that they were given. So with that being said, Caddyshack, 3 out of 5. First, I'm going to grade the characters in subcategories, and then I'm going to use those subcategories to create an average for their overall character score. So first, we're going with main character. We got Happy versus Danny. I personally just don't like Danny. He's a fake underdog. 3 out of 5.
Funny, baby.
Happy, on the other hand, 5 out of 5. It's Adam Sandler in the 90s. Come on.
I wanna kiss you all over and over and again.
Both of these movies have mentor characters, and I will give a 4 out of 5 to Chubbs. He deserves a 5 out of 5, but that extended arm with the fake hand, I can't. However, the mentor in Caddyshack is literally Chevy Chase. But, young Chevy Chase.
You take drugs, Danny?
Every day.
Good. So what's the problem?
I don't know.
3 out of 5. For the love interest characters, I'm giving both of these gals a 2 out of 5. I just didn't like them. They both seemed pretty vanilla. The only thing slightly interesting about the love interest in Caddyshack was she had an Australian accent, but was completely fake and awful.
Oh, yeah! Yeah! Well, thanks for nothing!
2 out of 5. Both of these movies have villains. In Caddyshack, we have Judge Smales, and I'm going to give him a 2 out of 5. I hate his mouth.
Well?
It bothers me so much. For Happy Gilmore, I'm going to give Shooter McGavin a solid 3 out of 5 because he's slightly funnier, but he has nothing compared to Ben Stiller's character in this movie.
Sir, could I trouble you for a glass of warm milk? It helps put me to sleep.
You could trouble me for a warm glass of shut the hell up.
Then we're on to side characters. I'm going to give the side characters in Happy Gilmore a 5 out of 5. They're great. You got the people watching in the audience. They have their little twerks and antics. Happy has a couple different caddies that are just out there. And then, as mentioned earlier, there's the Ben Stiller character. There's the guy from Mad TV. It's a good time. However, in Caddyshack, I did kind of boost them a little bit and gave them a 10 out of 5 for their side characters, just because so far I feel like I've been kind of dogging on this movie, and I love this movie. I truly hold it close to my heart, but it is not because of any of the other characters, and I think that is kind of what the intent of the movie is. I love the side characters. I like the old couple that D'Annunzio is caddying for in the beginning. I like D'Annunzio. D'Annunzio's funny and he's weird. I like... I really enjoy the side characters in this movie, so I'm going to give them a bonus 10 out of 5. So after adding up all of our character subcategories, we are going to grade their characters as a whole, and that leaves Happy Gilmore coming out to a 3.8 out of 5 and Caddyshack with 4 out of 5. But aside from characters, I also decided to grade on who played them because I am really big on like who played what. I don't know why. I just enjoy it. Leave me alone. For Happy Gilmore, I gave them a 3 out of 5. Their cast was very lackluster, in my opinion, compared to most Adam Sandler movies. Like, you don't really you see a couple familiar faces, but, like, where's Steve Buscemi? With that being said, I also gave Caddyshack a 3 out of 5 because I don't know anybody in that movie, except for Bill Murray and Chevy Chase. Everybody else, I would only, if I saw them in something else, I'd be like, oh, that's the person from Caddyshack, because that's the only thing I know them from. On to cinematography. For Caddyshack, I gave them a 3 out of 5, just because it was roughly put together. There's this scene where Bill Murray is running around. It's supposed to be at night, but you can very clearly tell it's in the middle of the day, and he is just running around in shadows by trees. For Happy Gilmore, I gave it a 5 out of 5 for cinematography. There is one weird shot of someone's butt, and I don't understand it, but the rest of it is fine. You can tell that the shots are well thought out, and there's a little bit of racking going on, a little blur in the back, going front. It's nice. It's cool. It's enjoyable to watch. Sound quality, I gave Happy Gilmore a 5 out of 5. Their sound's pretty good. The sound effects are nice. Nothing is too loud. Nothing is too quiet. He screams a lot in the movie. There's nothing blowing out the mics. And I know you're thinking, oh, it's a movie. They're not going to blow out the mics. Caddyshack did. However, it was made in the 70s, so you know, the sound quality was bad, so I cut them a little bit slack and didn't give them a 1 out of 5. However, they got a 2 out of 5.
Don't do it! I didn't do that!
On to music score. For Caddyshack, I gave them a 5 out of 5, simply just because of this intro right here. Sprinklers on that sound? Genius! For Happy Gilmore, I gave it a 3 out of 5 because the soundtrack is good, but it's just not as good as Billy Madison's soundtrack.
Past the 3rd grade. Oh, what a glorious day.
For entertainment value, I feel like I'm completely biased when it comes to this. I gave both movies a 5 out of 5. I enjoy both of these movies. I've watched both of these movies a million times, and I probably will watch them a million more times throughout the rest of my life. When we get to dialogue, I gave Happy Gilmore a 4 out of 5 because it is funny, but it relies more on the delivery and the antics of the characters saying the lines, whereas the actual dialogue written in Caddyshack does advance the story more and give you more about what is going on and what the characters are doing. Of course, Happy Gilmore does that too, but they rely more on conveying the emotion than the written word, if that makes sense. On to message effectiveness for both of these. Happy Gilmore is overcoming anger issues and going to your happy place so you don't become overwhelmed and you can, handle situations better even with rough obstacles. I am going to give it a 3 out of 5 just because the effectiveness of it wasn't so much, because he also kind of didn't change how he was. He just figured out how to be calmer when he was playing golf.
You're gonna die, clown!
Caddyshack, I gave a 5 out of 5. The message in this movie is there's a force in the universe that makes things happen. And I remind myself that every day when I'm feeling lost in despair. The universe has got it, and we can't really go against it. We just kind of gotta go with it. Nice message. 5 out of 5. We're also going to grade their call to action for both of these characters. I'm going to give Happy a 5 out of 5 because his came at the beginning of the movie. He knew exactly what he sought out to do. He was going to help his grandma get his house back. However, in Caddyshack, he really doesn't have a call to action until the very end when Ty tries to get him to cover for Rodney Dangerfield after Rodney Dangerfield's like, oh my god, my arm's broken. He had a lot of fake call to actions throughout this movie. There was getting this scholarship, and then there was figuring out what to do because he thought his girlfriend was pregnant, but that was like very short-lived in the movie. However, his actual call to action does not come until you're about 20 minutes away from the end of the movie. So, 3 out of 5. And finally, we have 2 more categories to grade on, and these were completely made up by me, and they are for me. One is the theatrical moment in the movie. For Caddyshack, it was this dance number that they did in the pool, which is hilarious, the funniest thing in the world to me, and I don't know why, I love it so much. It's literally, people have shoes on in the pool, it's men of all ages and sizes, and they are doing this dance, and it is 5 out of 5. In Happy Gilmore, there's this scene where Happy and his love interest are kissing on an ice rink, and then the camera zooms out, and then you get like this music video moment where the guy who runs the ice rink is singing My Endless Love while they're doing this, and it's very 80s music video, and it's funny, but it doesn't hit my funny bone just as much as the pool scene in Caddyshack, so I gave it a 4 out of 5. And then since both of these movies are golf movies, they both very similarly have this final shot at the end of the movie where, you have to make the hole to get the $80,000 or win the house back because Shooter McGavin bought it, asshole. 2 similar things about both of these shots. They both have explosions. In Happy Gilmore, the explosion causes an obstacle that Happy must overcome in order to make his shot. In Caddyshack, it's a little different. Danny shoots, and he misses. Judge Smales wins the $80,000 that they bet on, and also the country club, because Rodney Dangerfield's character wants to buy the country club, and that's what they're playing this game on. That's why they're betting money on it, if you haven't watched Caddyshack. I know I left that out of the synopsis. It's just not really, it's one of the side stories, Anyways, he misses this shot. And then Bill Murray in the back, who's been chasing a gopher the entire movie, blows up the entire golf course. However, the explosion causing the ball to go in does reiterate the fact that there is a force in the universe that makes things happen. So I'm not going to deduct more points because it does drive home the message of the movie just a little bit more. Danny got it easy, so I'm giving him a 4 out of 5 for that. Ladies and gentlemen, the numbers are in. We are ready to announce the winner of the big fight battle. Yeah. And the winner of the first ever film fight is Happy Gilmore with a score of 80.8. Caddyshack's score came up to 76. So Happy Gilmore is the better movie. Let me know if you agree. Let me know if you disagree. Let me know if you have two movies that you might want to see fight to the death. If you want to roast my hair because I need a haircut, leave it in the comments. If you subscribe, you can become a part of my community. We're working on becoming self-sustainable, so we no longer have to work for big corporations. And we can trade honeysuckle jam recipes. So be sure to click that button.